Hi beautiful people, this is Serena, welcome back to the channel. In today's Pick a Card reading, we will be doing a reading regarding some message that you need to know about a certain situation on your mind. And for that, I'll be using a new tarot. It's called like the Fairy Tale Tarot by Victor Valentin. He's a Brazilian author and it's really beautiful, the cards, and I think you'll like it too. And so you can choose your pile. We have different colorful papers in here. That is a surprise. Um, and you can like pause the video, connect with your breath, call your guides, anything that make you more grounded and more at peace so that you can choose the pile that you resonate most with. So when you have chosen, you can go to the description box in the timestamps and go to your pile, alright? So let's go. Hi, pile number 1, you who chose this green paper, this is your pile. As you can see here, we have the Fairy Tale Tarot. Here we have like the Fiery Tarot. And here we have like the medicine cards. Since we have characters here, because it's the Fairy Tale Tarot, I thought it would be interesting to do a surprise with you. Like in each one of these colorful papers, I wrote like hero, villain, or like the hero friends, so that we can have like a special focus of the reading. So depending on the character depicted here, I will read your cards with a special emphasis on that, and this will be relevant for your overall message. So let's see what you got. You got hero, that is you. So we have like three different heroes in these cards. We have like John. I don't know how can you say that in English. Like he had the magical beings, and like he fought the giant and was able to find the magical goose who laid golden eggs. Here we have the Hierophant card, and you see this magical apprentice learning from this wizard or sorcerer, or I don't know. And they are both major arcana, and they are in reverse. Lastly, we have the 10 of coins from Beauty and the Beast. I think, let me check. Oh, sorry, I was mistaken. I thought because this was like a yellow dress, it was Belle, but actually it's Rapunzel. So this is even more fitting, I think, for your reading. But yeah, let's dive in. We have of the Fairy Tarot the Moon card, that is also a major arcana. Another time the Hierophant, and I love how both of them has this like crystal ball. It's like a different Hierophant. And you got the rat from the medicine cards. First of all of these heroes, since this is your focus of the reading, they were all like young children, and they all had like a period where they were kind of detached of the world. Like if John here, he had like to go in this magical giant beans plant, and he was like kind of detached of the earth because it was so big that this plant, these magical beings, made like a passage to another world where he fought giants and etc. Um, Here we have like a magical apprentice. Oh my god, sorry about my pronounce. But like he's having lessons, so he's not completely solitary, but still it seems like some dark tower or dark basement. Um, it's more like a detached place, so you see everything kind of dark here. Um, and like Rapunzel, she obviously was locked in a tower for many times, so many years. Um, and this last card is a card of reunion, like finally getting out of the tower, finally defeating the villain, and finally like receiving the praise and like having a community who appreciates you. So maybe for some of you, you feel like that your plans are kind of stuck here with the hanged man here. Um, and maybe you feel a little bit isolated or even afraid, like you are confused, you don't know what to do with the moon card here. Things are not really clear, you know? And but like the cards are trying to show you that in the future you will get out of the situation and even have the happy ending that you want, like with the 10 of coins here, and have like this community if you feel like that you are a little bit alone, or that you're not receiving like the praise or the attention or the results that you want. There will be public recognition and you will have a community that supports and adores you, because that's what we see here. Or even marriage for some of you, I don't know, or like a stable relationship here, because if we are talking about love, maybe with the both Hierophant here is like usually a card that talks about like formalities, formal procedures, like an engagement, a marriage, even like a serious like relationship, someone that goes in the public and say like this is my person or something like that, if that's what you want or that you are looking for. um, but right now maybe things feel a little bit stagnant, like things are not moving anywhere. You don't see how the situation will resolve itself. And with the red and the two hierophants here, your guidance is so clear, although maybe you don't like it. Because like the hierophant is usually a card of learning, like you go ask for a teacher, a mentor. And like the red is a card of learning too, because it is like a thing, a card that speaks of this attention to detail, like looking into the minimal details. um, and as well is like they say that the specialists, the people that specialize in something, like they always dig for more knowledge, they are inspired by the energy of the rat. And we see here with the apprentice, with the hierophant, with the apprentice and like the teacher, the professor, someone with like more knowledge than you here. So it's that advice for your situation is for you to seek more knowledge. That's very, very clear. And like to the point that you pay attention to the little small details that people usually wouldn't notice or care, you know. uh I don't I don't know the name of that in English, but you know, like when you are reading a text and there is like a little number and like you go at the end of the page, like the author made like some notes of, oh, this is where I found this information, and then like you can get another book so that you can like read that another book and then understand, oh, that's why this author said that, like wrote that way, because he had read this author and that other author and that other author, you know. Like an endless stream of knowledge. uh, and the cards are advising you to have like this patience to look into the small details, because maybe with all these young energies present in the hero energy here, maybe you want things to work faster for you or for your situation, but actually you are a little bit too immature, you know, sometimes, or like you don't have that much knowledge regarding this aspect. Like there are many things that you are not seeing, and maybe if you don't seek this knowledge, you may do some like rushed decisions uh, that might lead to some not difficult situations, but like maybe um, these like situations that are a little bit um, difficult and that you didn't have to go through if you had like chose like a more calm approach, a more like rational approach, or more like let's learn this better approach. I say that because if we take this story of John, like I know that there are many versions of this type of fairy tales, so I'm reading based on what I remember from my childhood. But if you have another version, please share it in the comments or whatever. Like John, I don't remember exactly the context, but like I remember that his family was really poor, and I think his mother gave their only cow for him to sell and gain some like coins for them to buy food because they were starving or something like that. And like he's trying to sell his cow, but he really is not receiving many like offers. And then like I think it was like a older man, if I'm not mistaken, that offers John to exchange his cow for some little beans. And he's so like naive that he like kind of falls for like this offer. I don't remember if the man said that were magical beans or not. But even if he said like, if you think like to change a cow for some like tiny little beans, that wouldn't be able to feed like your mouth, even more like a family of three, for example. It's something a little bit foolish if you think like, and like his mother, John's mother, was really angry when he comes back to his house and just like throws the beans in the garden. But she didn't know that were magical beans, and then like this giant plant grows, and then like John goes in this start to climb these magical beans, and then he goes to the giant realm and find like the magical goose who lays golden eggs, and everything solves itself. So what I'm seeing is like the major advice for your cards is for you to study, to learn, like to pay really attention to the details and to gather this knowledge, because with the crystal ball here, you will be giving some deep insight about something that otherwise, if you didn't like read about it, thought about it, like really leaned on and learned about it, maybe you wouldn't have this type of knowledge that would help you solve the situation and have your happy ending, or the desired recognition or the desired community or person or whatever. Um, but like, even if you don't follow this advice, I think you will kind of maybe do some foolish decisions, or like not foolish, but maybe rushed decisions. And even if you end up like in a kind of a dangerous or difficult situation, because like the giant in the giant realm did try to eat John, but he won the giant, and in the end he was able to find the magical goose and get out of the poverty state. But he kind of suffered a little bit, right? Because he was like in a foreign land with giants trying to kill him. So uh, it's kind of, maybe if like John was a little more insightful, he could have, for example, found a way to maybe do like cheese. That was something that didn't existed before, and he could have done like some forever kit to make cheese, and then he got really wealthy without having to go through all this hurdle. um so anyways, um the cards are advising you to do more like a mature decision and to learn more. And because if you learn more, you will receive like an insight here with the crystal ball that will enable you to have the desire that you want, or to solve the situation and have the happy ending, without like having to suffer. But even like if you don't follow this advice, I think maybe you will like struggle more than you had to. But anyways, you will find your way back to the desired outcome here. So be careful maybe of people that are trying to scam you, like pay attention to the details. I don't know, maybe like John could have seen some little detail on the beans or like in the man to notice, oh my god, this man is truly a sorcerer, and like maybe I could gain some allies here to help me go in this like magical giant realm and find these treasures and stuff like that. But like he was a little bit naive. He was really young, so that's okay, right? Uh, but if he had like looked into the details better, maybe he would come up with a better plan, with a better plan of action, and the things would be like, oh, maybe he could, instead of going through this giant realm, he could see that the person that gave him the beans was actually a sorcerer or a wizard, and he could have asked the man, instead of giving him the beans, to teach him like magic or something like that. And then he would be the one to have this immense knowledge, and he wouldn't have to go to this giant realm and put himself in danger to have his desire. It could come like in a different way. So yes, this is what I'm seeing for you, pile one. I hope that you liked your reading, and bye bye. Hi, pile number two, this is your reading. You who chose this pink paper. The surprise of your reading is that I've written in these colorful papers some of like the characters that will look in your fairy tale cards. So I put like hero, villain, heroes, friends, and stuff like that, because then we will look into your cards with this special focus, and this of course will have a deep meaning in your message. So let's see what you've got. Oh, you got the villain and the opposing energies. Um, and it's really interesting, your message. So let me show you the cards first. In the first row here, and this middle card too, we have the fairy tale cards. And then we have the mystical fairy tarot here. And here we have the medicine cards by James Sons. And it's really interesting. Like, you got the King of Pentacles, that is the hunter of the Snow White. And he was a villain, but he changed his mind. And we will explore that in your reading. Then we have the Two of Pentacles here. And he's like a fool. And in the description of this character in the book, they say that he had like a similar role like as Sherazade. Like, he was kind of a beggar in the streets, and he made like this I don't know, magical tricks with like the balls and etc. Until there was a time that the king of the kingdom called him to go to the court to amuse people. But like, people didn't realize that even though he was a fool, he had like this deep knowledge. So he started sharing many stories with the king, and the king became more wise because of that. And I think he shared, like, I don't remember the name of that, but whatever. It was like Notre Dame. I don't remember how you say that in English, but whatever. So he is not exactly like a villain, but he has just like maybe dubious here energy, and here with the hunter of Snow White too, like he was hired by the evil queen to kill Snow White, but then like he decides to spare her life and instead lie to the evil queen, putting the heart of an animal in the box instead of the heart of Snow White. Then we have the Queen of Cups here with Ursula from Ariel. And finally we have the Knight of, oh my god, Swords. and he is the prince that saved Aurora, the Sleeping Beauty. And he's like cutting through the thorns here, these bushes with thorns, valiantly, courageously, unstoppable. Then we have like two King of Cups, each one from different decks. And then we have the squirrel here. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing squirrel correctly. I think it's one of these difficult words in English, but I'm sure you understand. Let's move here. I think in your situation, you are required to have like a lot of patience here with like the King of Cups, because I was starting to get the meaning of your reading, but like when I was going to film this reading, I had to stop everything because my grandmother, she wasn't well of health. She was needing care, and like I was really in the mood to record these readings, but then it was a really like confusion. Like my mother, my uncle, everybody was like frantic about it, and we were calling each other, and everybody like was like busy here with what they were doing with work or whatever. And like the information got like kind of scrambled, like lost, and there was kind of this like huge confusion. And now my grandmother is okay, thankfully. But like I had to stop everything like that I was doing, and I always, before starting this reading, I always like prepare the space, clean the cards, set the intentions, um do some meditation, do some work, you know. It's really a process that takes hours to do. And I was really pumped up to do this reading, and then all like this confusion broke up. And I was so like annoyed at first because I was like, oh my god, I wanted to like film this in this reading in there in weeks, you know, that I'm planning to do that. And I did all the work, and now I I know that my grandmother, she really needs it. But I like was like a little part of me was like, oh my god, I was like, my heart was set on doing this, but I know that the right thing to do is the other, you know. So I just like closed everything, um and put everything aside to answer the call that was needed. And maybe your situation has a similar like sadness or like pain involved, maybe, because here we see that the hunter, he's really ambitious, like he wants to have money to grow in power, and he is really set in his ways, like he's a hunter, he has like his eyes on his target. But when he faces like Snow White, and he sees that she's like just a child and she's so beautiful and innocent and etc., he sees that he can't like do what he wishes, because that is just too like maybe immoral or not right. So he sacrifices himself, like his desires, and do the right thing, and even put his life at risk because he lies to the evil queen that is like evil and has like magic and could like end his life. So I think maybe you are in a similar situation, maybe like you are juggling different things and doing different stuff, and then like a situation out of the blue happen, and you kind of have to make a choice here, because we have the two here, is the two of coins, and you have a choice to make, and it's a choice that's really dear to your heart. So it's a little bit at first difficult to make the sacrifice. um and we see here this like with the Ursula card, because I was reading the book and I didn't know that, because I think there are different versions of the fairy tales, and there are some stories that are darker than others, in the meaning of there is like censored things that Disney didn't put out there, you know. And I was seeing that in Ariel's story, like at the ending of her story, I think she's faced with a decision between uh, choosing her life or the life of her beloved prince. And um, she has to choose between uh, like killing the prince, stabbing the heart of the prince, always the heart here, like it's something that you love, you know. um, Stabbing the heart of the prince, because when the blood falls and touches her feet, then she will become a mermaid again. That what was she wished, you know, at the ending of her story. But then she chooses not to do that, and I think like she dies, because she wouldn't do that to her prince. And it's a little bit of more of a sad story, you know. I think the original story of Ariel, I'm not saying that you have to die or not, anything like that. It's just like a metaphor, you know, meaning that maybe you will have to sacrifice something that you love so that you can do the right thing, or to protect someone that you love, or uh, even like you are doing two things at once, and then you have to choose just one, at least for the time being. This is not like a forever thing that you have to choose and like always regret it. I think it's just like maybe a more temporary thing, just like uh, the Sleeping Beauty was asleep during a certain period of time, and like the prince had to make the sacrifice and like go through the thorns and defeat the evil dragon. That was something really scary. Like he had some pain, like the thorns and like stabbing him, like stabbing his skin, like you see how like these bushes are so close and intertwined, so maybe it's a situation that there are more people involved, or like many things and variables that are making it really thorny and difficult here. But then he chooses to go just like difficult path to do the right thing. um and by the end of his like journey, the Sleeping Beauty awakes, and he doesn't have to go through these thorns anymore. So I don't think your guides are telling you like, I know how heartbroken you are feeling because you have to sacrifice something that you love for now so that you can do this right thing. Maybe you two have to take care of like uh, maybe a family member that is sick, or any other kind of sacrifices and choices that we have to do in life. Uh, and the guides are recognizing your pain, but like I think like this sacrifice by now is necessary. Like it's the right thing to do, and it's not like an internal decision. Like there will be a time that you can pick the thing that you love, and not just the responsibilities and things that you must do, or that is important to do and you choose to do so. Because here, like the hunter of Snow White, he's presented with a choice, and like he chooses to do the right thing. In this changes like his destiny completely, because he was like kind of going the wrong path, or like he could overcome his desires and do like the more, I don't know, right, or the more elevate decision, putting others above himself. Of course that there are times that we need to be more self-centered, and that's not at all a bad thing. Like for us to prioritize ourselves is certainly something that we need to learn as we grow. But in your specific situation, this selflessness and this ability to know to make the like right sacrifices are really key to your situation, and you will be rewarded because all of them, like the hunter, the prince that had to go in this thorny path, they were all rewarded. And something to help you to do this right decision is to tap into the energy of the King of Cups. You got them twice, we have here and here. And the King of Cups, he is the king of the realm of water, the realm of emotions. So I think it's like to get a hold of your heart. Like you can acknowledge your pain. You can say to yourself, oh my God, I really wanted to do that. But I know now that like making this choice and making this sacrifice and doing the right thing is the way to go. you can show this gentleness toward us yourself, and more importantly, you are being like tested to show this calm, this gentleness, this patience with others. Because I felt like when I was going to like film your reading and all of this stuff with my grandmother happened, everybody was so like in chaos, and people were kind of angry and like they were being a little bit rude. There was like misinformation, and there was like this sense of urgency and to do things hastily, and at the same time like the situation just kind of calmed itself down by itself. But like I was receiving many calls from a lot of people, and everybody was kind of desperate and like in this frantic energy, and like I had to be more like, oh right, let's talk it. You kind of do this role of mediator, so you're being advised to do that. And with this scroll here, it talks about letting go of the things that don't serve you and like stalking things that do serve you. uh, I think in the context of your reading, uh, the squirrel is urging you to, not urging you, it's like advising you to access like memories, feelings, like when someone kind of took care of you or like was gentle with you. Because if you see the squirrel, he's also like a frantic energy, like he's always jumping in the trees, and like his little like this little fellow, he's always like in movement, and sometimes this annoys people, like they say that people of the squirrel talking sometimes they are so like full of energy that even the most like calm and peaceful people get angry at them because there was a time like you say, oh my god, just stop. So maybe people around you are behaving like in this frantic energy, and there's a lot of drama and chaos and stuff like that. So you're being advised to go more into like in this rational approach with the swords here, the mind, um, to not get caught up in this drama here, like because if you look at it as like a spectator, maybe you would see how like ridiculous sometimes or even like laughable people behave. I include myself in that because in the moment sometimes we are so like caught up in the emotions, in these conflicts, and in the stress that we behave in really ways that if we were more calm here, we would be like, oh my god, just calm down, let's do this, let's do that. We don't need to be so frantic about it, to be so like so desperate, we can handle things with more balance, calm, and ease. Even in face of this like many thorny things, we can have like a peaceful mind, and we can like conjure images of people who inspire us, people who were like who taught us, who gave us this emotional base. Or even if we didn't have this example in our family or in our community, we always have like stories just like as the fairy tales, or maybe some movie character that you love and appreciate. Like, how would they behave? Like, how can I tap into this energy of calmness, gentleness, peace, so that I can be like this guiding light, this peaceful place for people to rest in. And then like your energy is strong as a king, can influence those around us so that they can calm down too, and everybody then can start making more rational decisions, uh, more peaceful decisions, calmer decisions. And you see the squirrel here in the mountains. So uh, I think the squirrel is telling you to access these memories, because the squirrel is not only about like material things, like stacking material things, or like doing a day to clean your house. Everything is related to the squirrel magic, but I think in your case is more to bring back to your memory, to your heart, those times maybe that someone took care of you, or you had like a great example of maintaining the calm amidst the chaos, so that you can be inspired by those people or in those experiences, or even those like imaginary characters, so that you can then be the hero and do the difficult thing and be this peaceful person and be able to be gentle with others, even when they are like frantic or stressed or being rude. You can calm down people and manage, juggle the situation with a lot of adaptability and even like humor. Sometimes things happen in such like a grand manner, like sometimes life seems to challenge us in such like unexpected ways that we can even laugh of it, like, because then this reduces like the heaviness of the situation, and sometimes makes everybody feels at ease, because we have a lot of like water energy here, like the emotions. So you will be able to see things lighter and be this gentle, peaceful, grounded person, and influence the emotions of the people around you, thus leading to the matter being solved. And for that, you will need courage, because like we said, you will have to make kind of choose between two things, and one of the things is something that you really desire, that you have like to momentarily sacrifice, but then you'll be rewarded, right? So yes, I hope that this reading helped you, and bye bye. Hi, group number 3. If you chose this orange paper, this is your reading. Um, and I said that I had made like a surprise for each pile, and the surprise is that we have the fairy tale tarot. So I thought would be really interesting to choose some characters for us to look into your reading. So in each one of these colorful papers, I wrote like hero, villain, the hero's friends, and stuff like that, so that when we look at your cards, we look at it with this special focus that will have like deep meaning in your reading. So I thought it would be fun. So let's see what you got. You got the hero's friends, the helping energies. I think your reading was one of the most different ones today. It is really interesting. So let me show your cards. First, you got the moon card with Jasmine and Aladdin in the magical rug. You got the Five of Swords with the captain, the hook captain, from Peter Pan, um, and then we have the Knight of Cups with Ariel's prince. And then from the Tarot of the Fairies, we have the Seven of Pentacles, when we see this little fairy making a basket here with the help of her little rat friends. Then we have I don't remember how to say that in English, but the three little pigs and the big bad wolf here with the three of pentacles. Um, we have the King of Pentacles from the Fiery Tarot. And we have the Lynx of the Medicine cards. There are some possibilities of like interpretations regarding your situation, like if it's something more like romantic or something more connected to work or anything like that. So I will give you multiple ways that this reading can go, but definitely there is like a key element that is the component of your reading regardless of what you were thinking, uh, and that is there is a strong message with the Moon card here and the Lynx card for you to be careful, to not share or reveal a secret, because maybe with like the hook here, the Captain Hook, or like the big bad wolf, there are some like maybe people around you that they are not really trustworthy, or they can be even opportunistic energies such as the big bad wolf, and they could like use this information that you reveal in a bad way, um, and even for others of you that don't know anything about like a secret or information or anything like that, uh, maybe you have a skill or something like that that is really precious and that could be used in a bad way by maybe like a, a bad chef, a bad leader that you have, or something like that, or even like gossip, people gossiping about it, or I don't know. We will explore your cards and I will tell you why do I think is is it so. um so yeah, let's start. So here in the Moon card, um we see Aladdin and Jasmine in the magical rug, and it's really interesting because the Moon card usually talks about like mysteries, secrets, maybe illusions and lies. And we see that Aladdin, he had a story that he was a thug, and then he went in some adventures and kind of got hold of magical items. Um, and he falls in love by the beautiful princess Jasmine, and he's kind of ashamed of his background. He feels like he's not worthy of her because he's not a real prince. So when he first encounters her, he lies to her, telling her that he's a prince when he's not. But then he goes like in journeys to in a quest like to achieve more treasures because he thinks that in this way he will be worthy of her and he will be a true prince. Um, so there is this element of secrets here. Maybe if you are um, in a romantic relationship, maybe there are some things that are being hidden. But I see with the overall energies of your reading, like that the person or even you that is holding the secret, you are not doing that like with malicious intentions. Like you are doing that because maybe you have like a period that you have to work hard to become a better version of yourself, of themselves, so that then they can like share this truth or reveal this truth to others. And for some of you, this could even include like a change of environment. Sorry, I had to stop a little bit the reading and I'm back. So I'm trying to remember. Right, we were talking about Aladdin. So yeah, like I'm seeing that if there is a secret or some information that is not revealed, it's not that the person or you is doing that like with bad intentions. It's more like you are working yourself to become a better version, or like you are deepening your abilities, or you are still creating something. We see here like it's not finished, right? So you are in the process of doing something, or they are in the process of doing something, and it's not complete, like they feel like they are not ready yet, or that they still lack something or are working towards something. So maybe you or the other person is like trying to make themselves better so that they can like share the secret, share the truth. And you need to be really careful because you are being told to keep these secrets until you find a proper moment or person or people to reveal it, because the lens is the keeper of the secrets, and he's not someone that will tell the secrets to everybody, you know. Usually is a hero that has to defeat many challenges, and then like the the keeper of the secrets reveals to the hero if he thinks that the hero is worth it. uh, so you have to be quite smart about this, because maybe the people around you are not really worth it, or they are not ready to receive this energy, because we have the Five of Swords here and we have the Captain Hook. And it's really interesting in the book. It says like usually the Captain Hook, he's really like angry with his comrades, the other pirates, and he's always yelling, like uh exploding in anger with them. And sometimes like the mistake was his, like the captain did a mistake but he doesn't admit it, so he yells with the other people around him. And it's interesting because the author says that this is even like some form of like self-sabotage, uh, and like to not be your own worst enemy, you know. But anyways, we see like a bad leader that is like yelling with everybody and not admitting his mistakes. And maybe he's not even like, he doesn't have like the ability, you know. I'm telling about ability here because we see the three little pigs. We know this story. Like there was three pigs that were like brothers, and they were all like builders. They built their own houses, and there were the two little brothers. They didn't make the best houses, like they made of materials that didn't last the breath of the big bad wolf, you know. uh Only like one of the pigs, I don't know if it was like the older one, I don't remember, but like he was really smart, intelligent, and he had the idea to make his house with bricks, you know. So because it was a solid foundation, it was able to resist like the challenges that the big bad wolf brought, you know. And it was really a safe place. And like because of this smartness, I don't know if it just exists this word, but like because of this smart decision, and like the little pig that did the brick house, he was really intelligent too, and he was able to devise a plan, and he strategized, and then like as a group, they were able to take down the big bad wolf and end this threat. So we see a leader here that doesn't know how to lead, that is a bad leader, that yells, it's selfish, doesn't recognize his mistakes. And other leader here that's very knowledgeable, wise, calm, patient, do the hard work. He was able to build his house of brick, even though it was like the longest way, it was the best way, it was the wisest way. So and he chose to do the hard work, and because of that, they had a safe space, and then he was able to devise a plan against the big bad wolf. um, so maybe you have like a secret, or even a secret ability or knowledge that could be better used in a different situation, because remember that your reading was about the hero's friend, the helping energies, and we see the hero's friends here, like the magical rug, that is like an object here, and like the hero's friend here of the little pig, they were a little bit lazy and not that smart like his brothers, but we see maybe that the hero's friends truly were his utensils and his intelligence here. Like, we see a lot of objects here. So maybe part of your solution, at least for some of you, maybe if you acquire a special like object or utensil, or maybe you have some secret magical knowledge or something like that. Like you have something that nobody else has, just as Aladdin had this magical rug, that puts you in an elevated position here. Just as he is with Jasmine here, like flying the magical rug with the moon above them, looking at things in an elevated perspective. That puts you in this advantageous situation or position, that you can help others and help yourself, and even kind of lead others and help yourself. We have seen that this was acquired with a lot of like hard work, or things are being woven, like maybe how you will present this information needs a little bit of care, like you couldn't be so spontaneous as you wished, because usually sun energy is about clarity, everything being wide open, to see, and as opposed to moon energy that is more like mysterious and like elusive and stuff like that. And we see the secrets of the night sky, the stars. We see like there's not only the sun, there are many other stars out there. So maybe the way to present this information should be thought carefully and woven. How the most appropriate way, the best timing, and or it's like an ability that you developed, or maybe even information that you have, that you gained through hard work here, that you should be really careful with who you share. Because for example, if this like little smart pig who built his house in brick wall was working for a bad leader here, like a hook captain here, maybe like the hook captain could steal his credits, or you can say like he was the one who had this amazing idea when he hadn't. Or even you give something really special to someone tyrannical, or that's not going to make the best use of it. So yes, be careful of that. I see maybe movement for some of you, because we have like the magical rug that travels. We see boats here too. And we see aerial prints. And it's really funny because he's said to be a prince, but he loves so much the sea. And they say that he had really like dark eyes, but really gentle eyes and gentle character. And even though he was a prince, he preferred to be out there traveling, sailing. And he was so gentle that even Ariel fell in love with him. So maybe there is an information or an advice for you to change locations here, like to move to different horizons if you are in a place that there are threats or people who could misuse the information that you give or the secret that you reveal. um, Maybe it's better to wait and to move to a different place, like relocate before sharing this secret. Because, for example, if you are talking about like a work environment thing, maybe uh, if you show like, oh my god, I developed this software, or we could tweak things and do this better way, maybe your boss or your company or etc. Your they would use badly, or they wouldn't treat you fairly, you know. They wouldn't give you the recognition, the credits, or even the raise or something like that. And they could use in a way that would spoil your creation. um, so it's better if you can to move to a different place, because you have like fresh air, and like the prince will see that he was actually a king, meaning you will, by changing locations or changing environments and exploring new environments, even if it's like digital environments, you know, we could be talking about like internet or something like that. uh, you will see that even if you feel like that you are fake or lacking, like that you are still lacking something, you will see in the experience that you are actually a prince. Just as Aladdin, you know, because he went through so many adventures and he had like to do choices and pass through things that made him a wiser person, a benevolent person. And he rise to a higher position, but he knew all like the process here. Like he was a person that started at the bottom and then rised up. And here we see like a person doing a basket, a little fairy doing a basket from the scratch, you know. So this kind of knowledge, you see that you already have it, and maybe you are not in an environment that makes it possible for you to be who you are or to share like your abilities, your information, your talents, your truth the way that you want it. But then you see that you are actually the king, you know? You are wiser beyond what you think. Uh if this is about like a romantic relationship, maybe there are people around you that could be jealous of you, that would cause like fights between you and your loved one. Maybe we are talking about difficult parents too, maybe, don't know. uh, or even like third party situations or people who gossip here because there is like this menacing presence, like picking an eye in what you're doing. No, this makes me feel. You remember like SpongeBob, that he had like the secret to do the hamburgers, you know, and like Plankton was always obsessed to steal the secret and use it to his favor, you know. So be careful of people stealing your creations, stealing information. Like the advice is for you to keep something hidden until you go to a better location, or maybe uh, there is like some changes that take these people out of your life, or out of your surroundings, and this enables you to explore and to share who you truly are share your truth, share your secrets, so then everybody can see and recognize you. So yeah, this is your reading. I hope that you like it, and bye bye.